As Martha said, I work at the psych center and I'm a social worker, and we work with children from the ages of 5 to 18. And I run an anger management group in the high school, as well as I do the relaxation group in the elementary classroom. Just to kind of give you a lay of the land of what our hospital looks like. We have three classrooms, so the kids actually go to school while they're there. And we have three teachers, elementary, middle, and high school. And their home schools send their work to them to complete while they're there, so hopefully they don't get too far behind while they're at our facility. The length of stay varies depending on medication adjustments, diagnoses, psychological testing, placement. Sometimes the kids aren't going home. Sometimes they're going to like a residential treatment facility, and the closest ones to us are Rochester and Buffalo, and or they could be going to a community residence. So there's a wide gamut of how long they're there. So my goal when I have these little guys in my relaxation group is to teach them as much as possible in the short amount of time that I have them. So I think the breathing part is essential. So, when you're talking about setting up the group, I had the absolute perfect plan of how it was going to be. When they came down, I see them at 1:30 on Wednesday afternoons. And so I had the lights dimmed, I had the nice music playing, and I was sitting so calmly in my seat, and I'm hearing them come. They go to lunch at 12:30, and at 1 o'clock they go back up to their rooms, and they have the opportunity to brush their teeth, take a shower. Um, if they've earned full level privileges, which means they've had excellent behavior, they can play on they have a Game Boy system, or they have music recorded on a Nano. And if not, then they have Legos or different things that they can use in their rooms. Or they can make phone calls home as well. So anyway, I'm all set, I'm all calm, ready for this wonderful group that's gonna change their life. And I'm hearing the racket going on the stairs as they're coming down, and what are you doing here? And so what I've learned the hard way, and sometimes that's your best lesson, is the hard way, is that I still go in the classroom and I'm there when they come in the door, but I have plan A and plan B. Plan A is that they always come in and they sit at their desks, and we talk about why this group would be important for them, or how they can use this, or what their purpose or intent would be to even have this. And then we talk about what the expectations of the group are. The group is a safe place. Nobody's going to hurt anybody. And so depending on how that goes, then if it has gone really well, I have them actually move their desks to the other side of the room one by one. We've had a lot of demolition derby action going on in there at times. So the floor is carpeted, so there's that deep muscle movement of having to really push the desks over to the other side. And so that gets some of the energy out. And then they come and they sit on the floor. And we always check for wingspan, so that they're not going to hit somebody else, so that when we're moving around. And then once they're all the desks are moved, we usually start with the 4 golden wheels. And their very favorite is the 4 golden wheels. And so I'll say, who knows what the first golden wheel is? And because of one girl that I had there for over a year and a half, the first golden wheel is the wiggle. It is, it's not the shake. We talk about that big black balloon thing that is outside of the Verizon store. And all the kids know what that is. And so we talk about, would you see him, moving around, and know his feet are planted. So we don't have, because of first couple times that we did a demolition derby with bodies this time versus the desks. So we have them, keep the feet planted, but they do the wiggle. And the girl that coined that name could wiggle, I swear, every part of her little body. And so then we'll go to, who knows what the second golden wheel is. And so it gives them a little bit of ownership, that they know what these golden wheels are, and it's not me directing them all the time. I will also stand back and say, you teach me. You know, I'm gonna be one of the kids today. And so then they go through the steps, but I'll guide them, obviously, if they kind of get stuck, or I'll stand, you know, within their peripheral vision. And we go through the 4 golden wheels. When we do the breathing, the coherent breathing, they most of the time they really like that. Now I've had some kids that just want to curl up on their side, and that's okay. I just, you know, when they're comfortable to do it. My advice, if you're using the breathing buddies, and Martha, you're very daring with all your different colored ones. I created a major war because my children are grown, so I had brought in, we had bears, skunks, raccoons, you know, you name all these little stuffed animals. Well, then it became a fight. I want the bear, I want the tiger, I want this. So we have all the same color. So you don't know. It's you get what you get. They're all the same. So so they use their breathing buddies, and I try not to talk a lot. They're getting so much information all day long, so much direction. They, you know, it's a pretty structured environment. They have to ask to leave their room. They have to ask to come out of their room to go to the bathroom. There's phone times. There's this time. There's, you know, gym time. There's lunch time. And so I try to just step back a little bit. And I've had some of them long enough that they can kind of guide the rest of the group. When you were talking about the peer teaching, that goes a long way. Rather than another adult up there, you know, kind of barking at them and wagging the finger. So they guide each other, and then, but when they're breathing, I'll stand and, you know, we'll say, I'll help them keep your buddy in the air, okay, and they'll bring your buddy back down. And a lot of times, they're looking to their neighbors, or we get the giggles every now and then, and I say that it's okay, you know, just keep breathing, and you're going to have these giggle times. It's all right. It happens to the best of us. The children that we get come in with all kinds of diagnoses: verbal, physical aggression, bipolar. A lot of the kids are coming in with that diagnosis, and then we're finding out that actually there's some trauma that hasn't been addressed underneath it. The girl that I mentioned before that coined the Wiggles, she was with me for 1.5 years, and she horrific trauma history before she was adopted by her foster family. And she was 10 years old, but she had some kind of, she should have had a growth hormone after she was born, and the parents didn't follow through on it. So even though she was 10, she was about this big. And she had big, thick glasses and this scratchy, kind of froggy voice. And hair was always just sticking way out. And but she was the queen of manipulation. She was very good at using her size because people thought she was so much younger than she was. She had her teacher at her school before she was admitted to us convinced that she did not know how to tie her shoes for 1 year, until the mother came in for like a field and track day or something, and she said, tie your shoes. And the teacher goes, oh no, here, let me help her. And she knows how to tie her shoes. So anyway, I did a lot of individual work with her because she was on my caseload with the breathing. And when we have done meditation, she really liked the rainbow, the different colors of the rainbow. When you step on it, what is the sensation, you know, the warmth from the red and the different colors. And so what I would have her do, because she was a reactive attachment kid, and she could flip like a light switch from being the sweetest child you could ever imagine to just, you know, unknown to us why she would switch to such anger and aggression. And so I would have her put one hand on her heart and one hand on her belly, and I would say, what's your heart feeling right now? What she had identified was red was run, which meant that she just needed to just get out of whatever kind of feeling was coming over her. pink was good, and blue was crumble. And that meant that she was really, really sad. Something was just really making her just want to cry. And so we came up with so I'd say, how is your heart? And so she'd go through the motions, and I would say, okay, if it's red or blue, you know what to do. And so she would start breathing, and I would say, what color are you breathing in? So if she was in that red mode, she'd breathe in red, but we would work so that she would be breathing out pink. So she would keep breathing. Okay, what color are you breathing? Breathing in, it would still be red for a little while. But when she was breathing in pink and out pink, then she was in a good place. And it was just, one of the things that I absolutely love about this program is that you have that kind of flexibility to really kind of personalize it with the child, because these kids all come in with different diagnoses, different events that have happened in their lives, and so it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So I think you really have to personalize it to the child and kind of see where they're at. And so, like I said, just to be able to breathe in the pink and breathe out the pink kind of got her settled. It makes it hard because we don't know how long the kids are going to be there. And so that's one of the kind of the frustrations that I've run into, is that it's not a set time that we're going to be working with them. There's a lot of distractions in the classroom. I've often thought about moving to like a cafeteria or another area. They've got Play-Doh in their desk and the computer's over there, and oh my gosh, that plant needs watering, in the middle of, some relaxation. But like I said, I've gone back and forth with that, and I really feel like having them figure out how to do it in that classroom setting will help them to be able to transition it back when they're in their classroom setting. Because if you can do it here, you can do it in your home. It's transportable. We talk about different places they can use it. Okay, you're riding in the car and your brother's driving you nuts. What part of this relaxation can you use? And so they're all picking, what they think can work for them. I have done it as part of discharge planning with my families. It's great to have the kids say, show your mom what we did in relaxation. And they love to be the little teachers. And 9 times out of 10, what's really funny is they'll say verbatim what I've taught them, and it's amazing. And it's from the 5-year-olds. The elementary class goes up to about 10 or 11. When you don't think they're paying attention, they really are.